been 2 weeks since Brighter Shores was released, and this video will take you through everything that they have changed in the game so far. The game is still in early access and they're updating it very often based on feedback from the players. They've already said that before they consider the game to no longer be in early access, they want to be finished with the following features: player versus player combat, player to player trading, special attacks on epic weapons to make the different factions more distinct, leaderboards, additional higher level quests, and episode 5, which will be called Stonemaw Hill. Each episode seems to be a new area that brings with it new NPCs, rooms, monsters, and professions, building on and continuing with the main storyline. Brighter Shores was initially released on the 6th of November, but that wasn't without hiccups. Lots of players experienced server overloads, login issues, and various other bugs, but the developers soon addressed these issues with their first bug fix update on the same day. It addressed the following issues: players occasionally getting stuck in combat, a zombie error when attempting to log in, not being able to delete a character with a very long name, players from Cyprus and Taiwan not being able to play, the screen getting stuck in a dim state and not being able to click, some boss monsters breaking if multiple players were present, the sound not working for some people, and a few minor typos. And the next update came the very next day on the 7th of November, where the following changes were made. More keybinds were added, with a note that even more will be available in the future. A player's total level across all professions is shown next to their name instead of the episode combat level. Players with a premium pass can now claim their unique name from the settings interface if they pressed maybe later before, and will no longer require access to episode 4 to do so. And various other bug fixes were included which weren't specifically detailed. Then on the 8th of November, the update included the ability to customize your keybinds from the settings panel, the closed interface keybind now working on more interfaces, the minimap being clickable to walk but only as far as the adjacent room, an improved quest difficulty indicator, and again various other bug fixes. Then there were no updates over that first weekend, with the next one being on Monday the 11th of November. There was a slight combat balancing adjustment so fighting low levels isn't so overpowered, and the prepare for battle interface now indicated the exact reward penalty that you would have for fighting low level foes. The crime den raids require handcuffs, and upgrading your handcuffs now gives the expected XP boost. Bogus stats were removed from passive combat NPC cards, minor chat filter improvements were made, and the appearance of Mine Road East on the map interface was fixed. And the following bugs were also fixed: a bug with combat toad drops, a divide by zero error showing up during combat, a detective investigation XP bug, and a co-op woodcutting XP bug, and various spelling and grammar errors as well. And then on Tuesday the 12th of November, the creator Andrew Garr posted a poll on his Twitter account asking if the community wanted more quality of life updates, bug fixes, or new features to be added next. The majority voted for quality of life improvements, and that is exactly what they started the update with this day. The first major one was that single click actions are now a thing. The camera can also be rotated by dragging the middle mouse button, and you can reassign what each mouse button does. The map now lets you click up to 2 rooms away to path and walk there yourself, and if you deleted your entire account, you can now create a new one. And the active foraging block album card now lists which profession equipment is required to forage them. Then there were also balancing fixes as part of this update. That included making spearfishing rooms a lot less crowded with a maximum of 10 players instead of 20. Combat rooms are also a little less crowded with 1 less player allowed at once. It also included depleting spottable thieves upon login to remove the advantages that you got from server hopping, and upgrading or enhancing your profession equipment results in you getting a fractional XP increase. This update also featured a new rule change. They updated them to make logging into multiple accounts simultaneously against the rules. And finally, there were also some bug fixes featured in this update, which included the safe spots on Vipers and safe spots in the Guardian Spirit Cave, the animations when multiple people were using the tea machines or brew vats at once, and an error that could cause a room to fail to render immediately after switching episodes, and the magnifying glass now boosts the XP of the detective investigations again. The next day on the 13th, again it was started with more quality of life improvements. A quit button was added to the title screen, combat keybinds can now also be used to choose your initial attack on the preparation interface, and a lot more interfaces were now able to be closed by just clicking outside of them. And the first action for castnet fishing is now solo instead of co-op. And the following bugs were fixed: a bug that prevented people from joining the merchant guild despite delivering the required items, overlapping text on player cards, a missing scroll bar on the invitations inbox interface, the settings interface overlapping the interface below, the chat input pop-up showing a cutoff direct messages tab, the input box card disappearing when the input box was very small, some safe spots in the bare areas, various typos, and a bug in Lost and Found that allowed you to skip part of the quest, and a missing jigsaw symbol in the mysterious cave. They also adjusted the music volume slightly, improved the route finding of large NPCs, disallowed drinking of the forensic potions, and resolved an issue that prevented a few people from completing the Help Rochella section of the main story in episode 4. And then for the third day in a row, on the 14th, it started off with more quality of life improvements again, including adding options to control whether the camera centers on the player or the room, and the option to disable the camera zoom in, which occurs while you're doing an activity. They also made more interfaces respond to escape, and more interfaces are now able to be closed by clicking outside of them. Keybind handling was also improved, and the control plus letter keybinds are now shown in the controls interface and are properly reconfigurable. And quite a few bugs were fixed, including a misaligned tanning recipe book interface, missing elbows when wearing the plate torso and plate gauntlets together, choose initial attack interface not showing player stats sometimes, and showing keybinds for empty weapon slots also. Trying to mine glowing stalagmite without a pickaxe will now tell you that you need one. The Dryad no longer misnames the cockroach leg as a stalagmite. Other players' minecart deliveries no longer open an annoying chat bubble, and you can no longer mention the crystal to the ferryman if you haven't yet learnt of it. A graphical glitch that occurred when two people loaded minecart or made minecart deliveries at the same time was fixed, and the map interface shimmers less when the map is panning. And that is all of the updates that they have released to date. Let me know your thoughts on this game so far in the comments below, and what quality of life improvements do you want to see added in next.